This is your home for the Trojans. Girard Sports Live.
Snap and leans forward, and that's touchdown number 4 for Scott Moore.
Girard Sports Live is presented by Crawcan, your community technology partner. Learn more at ckt.net.
Looks, throw over to Adolph, quickly down inside, wrap around Boatman, found herself in the right place, foul, and the bucket!
He'll try a 3 and hits. Adolph with it up top, being guarded by Gass. Girard down the lane, off the glass, and good. Nice instinct by Adolph to just take it to the bucket. Fielded on the short hop, fires this one across. Able to throw the runner out by a step and a half. Pitch to the outside to Ashbacher. Gets a good block on the outside, and he's in for the touchdown.
It's time for the Trojans. On your home for Girard High School Athletics. Girard Sports Live. Girard Sports Live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Girard Sports Live here in Frontenac, presented by Crawcan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit, the fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Crawcan. To learn more, go to ruralfiber.org or see everything Crawcan has to offer at ckt.net. And that'll bring us straight into the pregame show with your host, Drake Miller, here alongside Caleb Humble. In the booth, pregame show is brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for over 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Caleb, last time we were here on Girard Sports Live, we saw the boys and girls team face off against two very competitive teams on the other side. And now they're booting up for some more competitive matches following the Riverton games, now into Frontenac, who is a team or a school that ended up sweeping Girard in their first go-around. So they're up 2-0 on this, Girard school right now in basketball. What is Girard going to need to do to bounce back tonight and take down the victories on both sides?
And I think the biggest thing, especially on the girls' side of things, is just confidence coming off of, that last game that they had played, it was a tough game following those weeks of the Burlington tournament and some of those tougher games, playing against that Riverton team. And after last Friday, you beat this Riverton team, and you have showed that you can play some of these tougher teams in the CNC. And so this Frontenac girls team is right up there with, I think the record is 14-4, and so definitely one of the better teams that this girls team will face in the CNC. And so I think the big thing tonight is that if you can get your confidence up, and then the same stuff that we say every single week of making sure that you get those good rebounds and making sure that if you have those second chance opportunities from those fast break points or getting transition steals that can lead to transition points, making sure that you can capitalize on those opportunities.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more with you, Caleb. It's been a kind of roller coaster here for this Girard girls team specifically. A lot of injuries, illnesses. We've had some illnesses on the boys' side as well, but keeping track of those. You had Mooneyham out just last week on Tuesday with illness. Boatman is just returned for her first time on Friday, as well as Kester in her return last week. Full return last week. Finally getting back into the groove of things, and she was looking just in her prime on Friday as well. Her and Boatman together just putting on a show, and O'Rand as well, kind of finding her groove, keeping herself out of foul trouble. These are just things that have been developing throughout these last couple of weeks that have really helped this team take it to the next level. And right now they're looking in tip-top shape coming down the stretch of the final few games of the regular season and into the postseason, which is exactly what, if you're Coach Urlacher, that's exactly what you want to see. But those keys to the game are brought to you by tonight's Girard Booster Club game day sponsor, which for tonight, drum roll, will be the Girard High School Booster Club sponsor, Heartland Rural Electric Cooperative. Heartland Rural powers rural lifestyles for more than 8,000 members throughout southeast Kansas. Your neighbors at Heartland are proud to support Trojan basketball and tonight's homecoming, or that last week's homecoming celebration. Thanks to Heartland Rural Electric Cooperative, tonight's game day sponsor. And with that being said, Caleb, do you have some area games for us here tonight?
Yep, and so definitely a CNC-filled night, and we'll start that off with Baxter going up against Columbus. You've got Colgan, and they are the only team that did not play a CNC matchup, and they did not even play today, and they had played yesterday against Independence, and I believe Colgan, both boys and girls, had won both of those games. You have our matchup, your home team, the Girard Trojans, going up against the Frontenac Raiders at home. And finally, you have the Riverton Rams going up against the Galena Bulldogs. And so, great CNC matchups tonight. The Riverton-Galena one will definitely be interesting to see how those two teams will face off against each other.
Yeah, with Riverton on a bit of a slide, too, the girls' team at least, kind of on the downhill. Galena also taking a tough loss to Columbus the other night. I believe that was Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So, coming off of that, both of those teams trying to bounce back off after their losses and get themselves back into the win column as soon as possible. But those area matchups were brought to you by Diskins Auto and Towing, 120 East Forest Avenue in downtown Girard. Diskins offers 24-hour towing and can repair all makes and models. To learn more, contact Diskins Auto and Towing at 620-724-8100. With that, with only 20 seconds left on this pregame clock, we will go ahead and step aside for a moment for the national anthem, and we will return with starting lineups and the opening tip-off of tonight's contest. We'll be right back.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Frontenac High School and Raider basketball. As the St. Raiders host the Girard Trojans. We would like to remind you that the Kansas State High School Activities Association and its member schools promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. The purpose of this activity is to provide a positive learning experience and opportunity for the participants. Please afford the student athletes and your fellow fans the respect that they deserve. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. And now we do ask that you please stand and take this opportunity to honor our great nation and our men and women who are keeping our country safe at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem.
And we are back on Girard Sports Live here with some starting lineups. Caleb, why don't you go ahead and kick us off with the starting lineups of the Trojans?
And so for the Trojans, it looks like the same starting lineup that we are used to, starting off with number 10, a 5'9 junior, Marley Sisney, followed by number 12, a 5'9 junior, Kennedy Keller, number 14, a 5'10 senior, Maddie Kester, number 22, a 5'6 junior, Carson Oran, and number 23, a 5'10 senior, Erica Boatman.
And on the other side, the home team Raiders will be number 1, the 5'6" sophomore Reese Franklin, number 5, the 5'9" senior Jocelyn Ashbacher, number 10, the 5'8" sophomore Maddie Bland, number 22, the 5'5" sophomore Lakin Sullivan, and number 34, the 6' senior Marley Stout. So the only difference that we've seen right now is the difference between Ashbacher and I believe Condon was the starter in this first time or in the first visit between these two teams this season. So just something that I'm sure Coach Erlacher has seen so far and is looking to capitalize on in this game, or at least be prepared for, rather. And those starting lineups are brought to you by the Jagged Edge. The Trojans will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at the Jagged Edge. Stylist Carlos Sands will have you looking your best for your next big game. Make an appointment soon by calling 620-724-7500. And with that, that will take us into the opening tip-off, which is brought to you by Farmers Bank. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. 8 minutes on the clock. First quarter moments from underway. Caleb, any final thoughts before we jump into this?
Just that this is going to be a big game to determine who might be able to become that CNC champion, with the Girard Trojans sitting at 13-5 and the Frontenac Raiders sitting at 14-4, and that third team being Riverton, who's 14-5. So all three teams right there with each other, and this will be a big one to see who can really fight for that CNC title.
Yeah, it's been a boat race this season and will more than likely continue to be that way, especially between those three. Orand, we're going to start off strong here, works it to the inside. Boatman takes to the glass and drops in a 2. Quick 2 to open up this contest. That's exactly what you want to see out of Girard. They seem to do a lot better with the lead in hand than trying to play catch-up.
And the last time that these two teams had matched up, the Trojans were playing a bit of catch-up, and that's kind of what ended up getting them in the end. And so if the girls can get off to an early start, that'll be big for this team.
And a foul to follow it after a rebound from Boatman, so getting a little bit on each stat block there for number 23 of the Trojans. That'll be the first foul against Lakin Sullivan. And now the Raiders come out in a full court press. Close call there, but Kester gets it at the post, and now a loose ball ends up in the hands of Marley Stout. Franklin can't quite reel in the pass. They work it around the perimeter. Now Franklin takes a 3. This one off the mark, rebounded, out of bounds. They say last touched by either Ashbacher or Stout. Both in there on the board, contesting Erica Boatman. Now we're gonna have to weave a little bit here, but Kester's gonna go straight to the block. Can't get it. Stout with the rebound and back the other direction. Sullivan will draw up the offense from the outside. One thing this Raider team knows how to do is shoot from the perimeter. That time not looking like it from Bland. As Boatman tries to go coast to coast. Knocked out of bounds by Ashbacher, and they will reset here on the inbound. 28 on the shot clock.
Early on, there's been good defense from both teams, only allowing 2 points for the Trojans, which was a pretty easy drive to the lane from Erica.
Keller spins around, tries for the 2, can't get it. It's rebounded and knocked out of the hands of Kester. Sullivan picks it up and now back across midcourt. This one works to the elbow with Ashbacher, blocked by Boatman. Kester reels in the board. Now they will reset from the perimeter. Oran to Boatman. Boatman, Euro steps to the interior and gets another 2 on the board.
Great move by Erica.
Frontenac still trying to develop that offense from the range. Bland takes a shot, won't go. Sullivan dives and gets the 2. So now 2-4. Girard trying to hang on to their lead. A great pass, Oran to Boatman, and connects for another 2. And that will call for a timeout from Scott Fields. So we will step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back after this on Girard Sports Live.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your field and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. And now Matt's care for farmers goes beyond seed as an agent for the new 4-state Farm and Ranch. From the best inputs available to the protection you need, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy at Murphy Seed. Producers Cooperative Association is the area leader in providing quality agricultural products, services, and markets. PCA has what you need to maximize your operation.
And we're back. 2-6 is the score. Erica Boatman collecting all of the points so far for Girard. As a bit of a scuffle there in the paint. Stout goes up for the 2, can't get it. Franklin reels it in for the Raiders, and now Sullivan driving inside. It's poked out. Now on the floor, Kester forces a jump ball that will stay with the Raiders, but at least reverse the arrow for now.
So far, Erica kind of seems just to be doing a little bit of everything for the Trojans. On the defensive side of things, she's had a couple of balls poked away, 1 block. On the offensive side of things, she has all 6 points, so just an incredible start to the game from Boatman.
Yeah, what I'm loving right now is just keeping those feet set, not getting in any kind of foul trouble, and really, there's been no question about any of these, I guess you could say, no calls. I mean, they're certainly great defensive plays by Boatman, keeping it clean underneath. That's what you like to see out of your returning post player.
And it does look like the Raiders kind of backed off a little bit of that full court press, and honestly, I don't think it was really working for them, with the Trojans easily getting down the court and getting it to Boatman down low in the paint.
Orand tries for a 3. Mooneyham felt like there was maybe some contact there on that attempt to keep it inbounds. Sullivan, I think, actually touched that ball before she had established inbounds. I think that should have been out of bounds on the Raiders.
I mean, that's what I saw, but we maybe just didn't have the greatest angle.
Stout tries for 3, can't get it. Boatman tips it into the hands of Kester. Now Oran to take it down the floor. Boatman now hits the back door to Kester. And travel called.
Looks like Kylie Trezona will check in and Maddie Kester will take a seat.
Kester pretty frustrated with the call on the floor and maybe just the situation. But coming back on will be Trezona. And now a rim out for the Raiders, as they have just not been able to get anything to fall. Oran tries to drive the base. It's knocked out of bounds by Frontenac. And there's been some physicality probably on both sides of the floor. Not a lot of whistles being blown, and it's just going to come down to which team can really adapt to that first. As Sullivan gets a jump on that inbound, and
that should be Girard's ball. I think the possession arrow was facing the wrong way, but
should be Girard's ball.
Girard.
Yeah.
It's weird. We had that early jump 2 minutes ago.
Well, you had Girard win the tip, and then you had the jump on the Raiders' side. So, yeah, Girard would take over there. Trezona now gets trapped up in the paint and couldn't quite get it back out in time. Had a couple of options, but maybe just didn't feel confident enough to really pitch that one back out to the perimeter. It's a tough situation. This is a fast defense that's being played right now, and let's see. Kennedy Keller is now running off the floor with Lakin Sullivan. Did you see what happened there, Caleb?
I believe I saw the trainer follow behind, but I'm not sure exactly what's happening with that situation, at least.
Well, Sullivan did come back for the Raiders. Keller, on the other hand, did not. We will try to keep you updated there, but this one stripped away by Oran. Boatman gathers it up after the poke. Now back down the floor for Girard. Boatman trying to work underneath as Sisney gathers it near midcourt. Mooneyham had Orand open on the opposite side, delivers to Sisney. Back out to Orand. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Mooneyham pulls up from the elbow, can't get it. Raiders rebound with number 15, Andy Stout. And foul called. Ooh. And I see Coach Urlacher making a case here saying there was some physicality on that strip on Oran's ball down there on that side. No call, and on that one there was one.
Just
certainly a case to be made, but
I mean, if you're going to let them play physical, you got to let them play physical on both sides of the ball.
And good news, Kennedy Keller has returned from the training room. I believe she may have had just a little bit of blood from the elbow, so glad to see her back. As it looks like she's got that left elbow wrapped. Already had the right elbow sleeved. Trojans nearly loses it, but gathers it almost again. Facing a double team there with Stout and Bland. Trying their best to poke that out. Sisney works it inside. Trojans back out. Marley Sisney for the triple. Can't get it, and it's rebounded by Stout. That's Andy Stout. Over to Bland. Now across to Marley Stout, who drives inside and blocked by Trojans. Very similar to that Erica Boatman block. This time no call. As Trojans works it back out to Sisney, catches a hand there. Now Sisney gonna work the inside, can't get the first try. It's rebounded by Stout, and now back the other way.
So definitely a defensive first half for both of these teams. Not a lot of scoring within the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that's what you're gonna get whenever it's a no-call kind of day in basketball, is it's usually pretty low scoring because these teams know what they can get away with, as well as it's gonna be very limited from the foul stripe, and had a double dribble called against Oran.
And I mean, to add to all that, both of these are very defense-oriented teams, but they can both definitely have their scoring nights, and so I think that's just something that you'll see of just the defense being a big force in this game.
You'd like to see Girard just kind of at least hang on to that 2+ possession lead. Wow, what a block.
Big block.
Kester covered it like the rug on your floor. Inbound goes to Stout, back out. Here's the three from Condon, and she nails it. Tie ball game here in Frontenac, as this one is out of bounds on the Raiders. Last touch by Condon. Ashbacher will return to the game in place of Marley Stout with just seconds to go here in the first quarter. Inbound gets to Keller. Back to Sisney and back to Keller. Kick out to Oran. Now Oran looking to drive, puts up a physical two, and gets it to fall. Just some good buckets by both of these teams, willing to really get in there and get physical.
Definitely, and I think kind of like how you were saying earlier, if this Trojan team can lead by 2 for the rest of this game, it'll be big because both of these Trojan teams have kind of experienced being down all game just by a couple and having to crawl their way back. And so I think if the Lady Trojans are able just to stay on top and kind of keep the lead at a steady pace, that'll be big for this team if they can get that win.
Great transition passes, and Black gets mauled underneath. Headed to the line now to shoot two is Briley Black. That is only the second foul from Frontenac in this game, third total with 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And Caleb, with the foul fests that we've seen in the past couple of weeks, this is very, very different and very surprising that Girard is able to adapt this quickly to such a different game.
Definitely a fresher breath air with just how many fouls and how many girls that have had to worry about that foul trouble that are now able just to kind of play their version of basketball.
Keller gets a quick steal, puts up a shot, and no good. It comes down clean. As that will bring us to the end of the first. 10-2 is the score. Hard fought by both of these teams, but Girard's the one out in front. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Helms Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
And we're back for the second quarter of action. Possession does go to Girard. So they will start off with the ball at midcourt. And a pretty interesting first quarter here, Caleb.
And I think this is definitely an interesting start to this game just based off of this last game that we had at home earlier in the season, with the Trojans losing that game 48-52. So definitely a close game. But with this Trojan team, that was an offensive game for both of these teams, and it looks like early in this first quarter, and things can definitely change, that this will be more of a defensive, lower scoring game.
So a quick stoppage on the floor as there seems to be some blood there from Kennedy Keller, who her old team seeming slightly entertained with that fact, but man, she's all scuffed up, has a scuff on her elbow. Just been brought aware by our camera op, Sarah, that her knee was scuffed up as well. I didn't even notice it, but so she had to get that wrapped as well. Tough player, man. We've said it all season that she is, at least once a day, we're saying Kennedy Keller hits the deck or on the floor fighting for the ball. And she's just extremely physical. It's surprising she's not bleeding more often, honestly.
And she's just such a physical player and always just putting her body on the line for this team. just doing what it takes to get that win.
Sisney dribbles out and delivers to Arand on the perimeter. Now Arand works it back over to Sisney, trying to open up this defense a little bit, and a loose ball ends up in the hands of Andy Stout. They work it inside. Condon back out to Stout. This time Marley. Stout over to Andy Stout. Takes a step in, takes the two, and nails it. Gotta admit, great ball movement there from the Raiders. Just able to get down the floor quickly, move it around. Girard was a little bit unable to establish the defense there, just on their toes constantly. Hard to get something squared away. As Kester tries for a three, this time just a little short. This one tipped out to Sisney, who works it back into Keller. Two is good. Great answer from the Trojans. This time Marley Stout looks to break open the three. Can't get it. Condon, the only one so far to have a three-pointer made in this contest. Sisney tries to break that trend. Can't get it to go the first. And Keller gets fouled on the putback. So Keller visits the line after the second foul from Maddie Bland, which for such a limited foul count, only 3 to the Raiders. It's very weird to see 2 to the same player.
So I almost want to say that there's a little bit of foul trouble for that player just because, and it looks like she will check out here. I believe Sullivan will come in, but definitely interesting to see just a little bit of foul trouble in such a low fouling game.
4 total fouls, 3 for the Raiders, only 1 for Girard so far in this game, which is just a huge step up from their probably close to 20 foul average across the last couple weeks. This time, Franklin tries to drive the base, can't get it. Kester with the rebound, and that luck just kind of persists there for Girard. A lid on the basket here for the Raiders, and especially Reese Franklin, who did a number on Girard in their first meeting.
And I think since then, the Trojans have been able to kind of limit Franklin scoring-wise in this game, and this team has done a great job on defense, and then they're just doing enough on offense to stay up by those 2, 4, 6 points.
That pass just a little bit over the head of Arand. Will go out of bounds. Now Kennedy Keller will come down the floor with Lake and Sullivan. Arand called for her first foul.
First foul for number 22, Carson Arand. That will be her first personal foul. The first team foul on Girard.
And I see Arand actually saying, if that's a foul, can we get that on that side too? Working it inside, Stout gets fouled. Boatman not happy with that call either.
It's like Erica was kind of saying that she was elbowing her and pushing into her, and she was just trying to stand straight up and not really get into that contact.
So that'll be Boatman's second foul with only 3 fouls from this Girard team. Very similar situation where you've got 2 big-time players on these 2 teams that now are in, I guess, semi-foul trouble for what it's worth on the floor today, you know, for it being such a low number of total fouls. You would consider that foul trouble. Sisney was wide open down the floor for Girard, And now, oh my goodness. Charge called against Maddie Kester. And the crowd voicing their displeasure with that call, as that is 3 in a row there against Girard.
And definitely to note that this Girard fans, they travel well with almost this entire side of the stadium being filled by maroon and gold.
Kennedy Keller had a little bit of an awkward step there on the opposite side of the floor. Hopefully she's all right, as she was wincing a little bit on that layup, but she did get the 2, up to a 7-point lead now, as she gets the interior pass. No dice on the first try, and now Boatman's fouled on the second attempt. This will go against Lakin Sullivan, who I believe will be her second foul, and it is.
So only 4 fouls on Frontenac, and all 4 of them going for 2 players.
Maddie Bland and Lakin Sullivan is who they belong to. 2 starters, and they've got Bland benched right now, trying to maybe save her, but can't do it forever, especially with 2 players in that position now. As 0 for 2 visit from Boatman. She comes up empty-handed from the foul stripe. Stout, her shot or pass, whatever, blocked. Franklin and Keller in a fight for the ball, ends up with a jump ball, and now the Raiders maintain possession on their side of the floor. Stout works it inside. This one's blocked and picked up by Sisney. And knocked out of bounds. Back to the Raiders. And I couldn't see it from this perspective, but they're saying Raiders are taking over here.
That was just another example of just a lot of contact.
And the official and Erlacher talking that one over. I couldn't see it clearly from my perspective, but a lot of times in that position, you see some kind of physicality, or at least the Raiders poking it out. That's just very uncharacteristic of Sisney with that situation, to just dribble it out of bounds, But with that being said, this Breaking the Action is brought to you by the Southeast Kansas Player Health Alliance and Live Well Crawford County, reminding you to know your limits when gambling and know when the game is playing you. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-426-2537 for free assistance. So Frontenac takes over here. Stout retrieves it in the corner. Now trying to work against Trojans as Trojans gets the block on Brecklin Condon. Down the floor, and another 2 from Kennedy Keller.
Just an incredible sequence of basketball for the Trojans.
Back the other way, Andy Stout, and we've got a foul called as Stout ran into Keller's foot as she was trying to block that pass.
The first foul is called number 12. Kennedy Keller, that will be her first personal foul. The 4th being Girard.
Only the first foul against Keller, so not in any immediate trouble, but that does bring Girard to 4 fouls. And now the drive will be unsuccessful from Franklin. It's poked out and into the hands of Oran. Trezona works it to Kester at the post, who takes a jumper off the glass and in. 29 is the score. as Sullivan works from the point. They get it into Marley Stout, trying to post up on Trojans and can't get it to fall. Rebound Kester, back to Girard with 2:30 to go. Much higher scoring quarter, I say that, already matching the score of the first quarter with still 2.5 minutes to go here for Girard. Orand trying to open up the perimeter. Keller gets down to try and retrieve that one, and there's a jump ball called.
Great job to keep the possession arrow going towards the Trojans, and another opportunity on the offensive side of things, but this Trojan team has done a great job of really opening up the scoring while the Raiders haven't done much on the offensive side of things in the second quarter.
Yeah, a lot of defensive rebounds have really been the solution here for the Trojans, as Trojans trying to work the base, and that one's loose into the hands of Franklin. Sullivan gets fouled and one.
That's 22, Layton Sullivan. Sullivan will be line shooting one shot. The personal foul, 14, and Maddie Kester. That'll be her first personal foul, the 15th on Girard.
So that will be the second foul against Kester.
With about 2 minutes left in this quarter, we had talked about how neither team's really in much of foul trouble, but the Trojans are now in the bonus and the Raiders will be shooting for any other additional fouls.
Inbound, almost deflected by Franklin, and now poked out by her as Sullivan tries to work down the floor and gets the buckets. A quick turnover turned into a two-pointer has been the kryptonite as of the last two possessions. Orand tries to silence the crowd a bit, can't get it to go. Stout on the rebound. And it's poked away. Keller gets it out. Now Kester down the floor. Tries to work the post, and she gets it to go. Man, both of these teams are working hard on the defensive.
Just a physical game of basketball, Drake.
They get it around to Franklin for the three, and she's fouled. That will be Orand, and I believe that is Orand's second.
The personal foul, number 22, Carson Orand. That will be her second personal foul. At the line, shooting 3 shots. Number 1, Reese Franklin.
Bucket falls from Franklin as she is shooting 3. Coach Urlacher still trying to plead his case here on maybe some other foul calls on the other side of the floor, as the gestures he's making aren't necessarily towards the block from Orand, as I think she did get a little bit of skin to skin, I guess, on that attempted swat on Franklin. 1:04 remaining here in the second. And the Raiders have done a great job reeling this back in. 5-point game. Kester trying to break it back open, and she does. 25-17 with a big-time 3 from Maddie Kester. This one flipped to Franklin, 45 on the clock. Across to Condon, and she is fouled on her way inside. Who will this be going to? That's Carson Orand.
So that'll be Carson's third in the first half, and so you would think that coach might sit her, and it looks like Mooneyham is at the scores table to accomplish that.
Yeah, maybe with Mooneyham being out for so long, I don't even think she's seen time here in the second quarter. I could be wrong, of course, but with her being out for so long. May have been smart to check her in after the second foul from Oran. But hindsight's always 20/20. They work it to Trezona. Over to Mooneyham. Kester back across to Sisney. That one off the foot of Condon and out of bounds. Still a 7-point game here in Frontenac. 24 on game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Trezona's shot is blocked. They were trying to say reset the shot clock. And a great pickup by Mooneyham to give the Trojans an extra possession here at the end of the quarter. Foul called. Foul called on Reese Franklin, her first. 4 seconds remaining. You'd like to get it in and get a shot off. As Sisney now. No, they will say Mooneyham went over and back. Must have gotten both feet across and then moved that foot back across. As this from Stout almost falls. Did hit the shot clock, so on that second bounce back wouldn't have counted, but close one there. Could have really changed the tide of this game going into halftime. But 18-25 is the score. We will take a break and we'll be right back after this for the halftime stats and analysis.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. Licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More than just your neighborhood pharmacy, Mathis Drug is your hometown partner in health. With pharmacist Bria Scheibe and an experienced, highly trained staff, Mathis Drug is ready to serve you. And now, Mathis Drug offers comprehensive compounding, which is one of the few pharmacies in Southeast Kansas with this convenient on-site service. From medications to expert advice, call 620-261-9779. Mathis Drug Store, where community and care come together.
I was hoping to talk to someone about updating my insurance policy.
I am able to understand complete sentences.
That was a complete sentence?
I didn't understand that.
Or can I just talk to a person?
No one talks to humans anymore.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
I hear you. Why don't we review your coverage with a super check?
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Judd, Lori, Jenny, or Amber in Girard today.
Call service is outstanding in their field. especially for those that are stuck, well, out standing in their field. Coles carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Coles continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Coles Service, 620-724-4121. See more at ColesServiceLLC.com.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
To make something out of nothing. The Trojans all over him. It's going to be a big loss.
A Trojan sack means $2 short stacks at Eastside Cafe. Kick off your day with a hearty breakfast or take that midday break at Eastside Cafe. And this fall, when the Trojans get a sack, you get $2 short stacks the following day. Dine in only. Restrictions apply. Eastside Cafe, a favorite of the four states winner. Go Trojans from Eastside Cafe.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Welcome to the halftime show here on Girard Sports Live, presented by GN Bank. They've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. And as we take a look back at the first half, Kenara Eye Care is here to make sure you can see what you're looking at. Kenara Eye Care, with locations in Pittsburgh and Girard, is here to help their valued customers. Learn more at KenaraEyeCare.com. Caleb, through this first half, it's been a little bit of a slow start, picked up there towards the middle to end of the second quarter, and really kind of kicked into gear for both of these teams, I would say, there in that in the last couple of minutes. Girard up 25-18 as it stands right now. What are they going to need to close this game out?
I think the biggest thing is just continuing what you've been doing on the offensive side of things. And then the defensive side of things also were really great up until kind of those last 3-4 minutes in that second quarter. And so if you're able to keep up your offensive just pressure and making sure that you can get those easy looks that then lead to points is going to be a big part of keeping up this distance in the scoring column. And then if you're able just to continue playing that defense that we saw in that first quarter of just getting those steals or getting jump balls, and we know that this is going to be a physical game going forward with just how many, if you want to say no calls that we've seen, or just the amount of physicality from both of these teams. And so the big thing is being able to adapt to that and just knowing that you're going to have a little bit of that physicality going forward.
Yeah, and we really started to see that scoring pick up as soon as the foul call started to pick up a little bit, which, you know, some of those weren't necessarily correlated, as in like fouls to free throws and shooting fouls and whatnot. But it was really just a matter of these teams. They're so aware. These are two very, very highly skilled teams. I was looking at the last couple of seasons with Coach Fields and this girls team, and it's so impressive. They had a 5-man sub off the bench last year that from whenever I covered a couple of their games, and seeing how much of that bench they were using. I mean, they would completely clear the court halfway through the quarter. So these girls that are playing on the floor right now, they were automatically, regardless of if they were bench or starters last year, they were getting 4 or more minutes on the floor every single quarter, which is just conditioned them properly to be these starting players that some of these young characters, like all these sophomores, are right now. So these teams, very, very intellectual. They're very smart. And they know what they're doing in these contests. They're adapting to the game with each and every single call, and you can see that with each foul call and each no call, how these teams step up and play on defense and on offense.
And I mean, this roster for the Frontenac girls, they only have 7 players, and so if you're on the roster, you're getting some playing time to some extent. And so just being able to really adapt to that and knowing that you only have 7 people and you got to make work with who you have. And I think this Frontenac team really has done a great job of doing that throughout this entire season.
Well, those halftime stats were brought to you by B&B Excavating. The numbers don't lie. Dirt is heavy. So trust the guys at B&B Excavating to move what needs moving. Specializing in septic systems, water line install and repair, driveways, rock hauling, and leveling. B&B Excavating. Call 620-724-2735. As we're back, another one of those moments that we've seen in this game where everybody kind of stands there with their hands up, whether it's on the Frontenac or the Girard side. Somebody wanting a call, and it's just not there.
I mean, just one of the more physical games that we've really seen all year. And so I think especially in this type of game of you got Girard going up against one of your rival schools in Frontenac, this physicality is going to be needed to see who can come out with the win.
Not to mention the stakes as well with a game like this. Like you said in the pregame, Caleb, just these teams trying to match each other on losses, or at least Girard trying to match the Raiders on losses for the season. I don't know how that matches up in CNC. We'll try to get you those just to see who would be leading the CNC if this game goes one way or another. Right now, still a 7-point lead. Raiders with possession here in the third quarter, and we've got to travel. Some costly turnovers here, back-to-back from Frontenac. First one was out of bounds on Sullivan. This time a travel there in the corner. Didn't quite catch the number. I think it was Condon there in the corner. As Sisney works it over to Boatman, who tries to post up and can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Stout. Now back the other direction. Sullivan, deep ball to Franklin, who gets the 2 to go.
And going back to what you had said with who would be leading the CNC, it looks like with a win for the Girard Trojan team, all 3 teams of Riverton Raiders and the Trojans will all have a record of 14-5. So definitely interesting to see how that matches up with both this Trojan team winning. If they can win this game, beating the Raiders once and beating the Rams once.
3 ball goes up from Condon, rebounded by Boatman. Kester after the poke out, trying to fight for it. And finally gets the jump ball call. As I will tell you one thing, that Maddie Kester does not like. She does not like being a part of a scuffle.
No, and she's a physical player, but she likes to show it on the court and not really going after those extra opportunity type, scuffle type things like you're saying.
She'd rather just grab the ball, keep it strong up top, and not have to get down to gather one. Boatman drills the three. 30-20 now, back up to a 10-point lead for the Trojans. Their largest lead so far was 11. It was 20-9 at one point, and then Frontenac really started to accelerate back into the game, and now Bowman had a little bit of a trip up, probably scared Coach Urlacher half to death. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. Trojan fans can find us at 408B North Grand in Pittsburgh or call 620-232-7305. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
There's a lot of choices when you think about buying crop insurance. One thing that's important to us is the roots and loyalty of where you come from and knowing who you can trust. And with all the obstacles that farmers are dealing with on a constant basis, we're there and we're living those struggles and we understand them. And we got to put bushels in the bin to provide for each family. And when that doesn't happen, it's good to know you have a good crop insurance agent to cover you in the heart.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live, and one called on Stout. She'll be headed to the line. And Caleb, as we enter this free throw, we were looking over some of those CNC standings with the CNC records. St. Mary's Colgan sitting perfect right now, 10-0 right now through their season in the CNC. Frontenac at 7-2, so with Girard at 6-3, a win for Girard would tie them up both in second. And Riverton sitting at 6-4, so they could get a win. They'd have the same amount of wins, but they would not have the same amount of losses. And now we've got an extension of the arm there from Stout. And this Girard side applauding, as I think they just feel like, finally, we've been begging for one.
Just watching it tonight, there's definitely been a couple of instances where you've seen that kind of push off that this crowd has been upset that hasn't been called quite yet.
Good ball movement off the start here for this Girard possession. Keller tries to go up in the post, and it's tapped out of bounds by Kester. And we've got another cleanup here on the floor. Been a couple of, makes 2 times there for that exact spot and having to dry up something. I wonder if somebody spilt water.
I was going to say, leaking water bottle or something.
Sullivan on the perimeter, over to Bland. As they continue to work the perimeter, inside to Stout. Delivers back out, Bland for the long 2, can't get it. Sisney with the rebound. Now going back and forth with her and Franklin. Down the floor to Kester. Boatman finds herself wide open at the point. Can't get the 3. And it's out of bounds on Keller. Still a 7-point lead here for Girard as they hang on. Not a lot of scoring here in this third quarter. Only 5 for Girard. And I believe only 5 for Frontenac as well. Another block from the Trojans. Boatman kicks out. Kester for 3. Having a fight through that physicality again. Gets the kick out, and Kester to really put a nail in the coffin there on a great possession. Franklin, her pass to the outside, off the mark, and out of bounds to Stout.
And I mean, some of the physicality in this game is stuff that you'd see in like a K-State football game. I mean, just one of the more physical games that you'll see all year.
Coach Erlocker, I think, is telling Erica Boatman right now, saying when you try to go up vertical on somebody, try not to move forward. That's what's going to draw you the foul, as this one's knocked out of bounds. Great play by Mooneyham, putting her body on the line, as I believe she got a hand on that, and then it was last touched by the Raiders.
I mean, we didn't have a great angle on it, but I think you're right. Just a great job of making sure the ball is last touched by the Frontenac Raiders.
Kester trying to post up at the base. Another foul called, as this one goes against number 10. That's Maddie Bland.
That will be her 3rd.
So she will check out once again. And I don't know, with 3 fouls, what do you think your call would be, Caleb?
I mean, 3 fouls. You got about 3 minutes left in the 3rd. Unless you're just giving her a break, I would say that just let her play. And there's been a lot of fouls that have kind of gone, I mean, just let loose in this game. So with only 3, I think maybe let her play until she gets possibly 4 and then go from there.
Might be one of those situations where you start her at the top of the 4th just to see how it pans out. Now we've got another foul called. This time Marley Stout on the attempted rebound, catches contact with Keller.
That's only her 2nd.
Ashbacher checks back in for Condon. Work it over to Keller. Inside, Kester gets the 2. Another great bucket there from Girard to keep this lead growing up to 14 now. Stout trying to cut in. Can't cash. Franklin nearly loses her feet on the rebound. Stout trying to work against Trojans. Kicks out. Sullivan on the drive to Ashbacher, and a foul called. This time we'll go against Trojans. I believe that is her 1st. And Ashbacher gets the 1st.
Looks like both Marley Sisney and Erica Bowman will check in, and Kester and Trojans will take a seat.
Ashbacher goes 1 for 2 on that trip. Keller inside to Sisney, trying to work the paint, and she's fouled. I believe this one's going against Stout again. No, that goes against Ashbacher on the reach inside.
That'll be only her 1st.
Probably a fortunate 1st as well, as that would have been Stout's 3rd. So you'd like to keep her out of any kind of foul trouble, being that primary post player. And you're going to want her down the stretch of this game. I bet she plays pretty close to all 8 minutes of this 4th quarter. 15-point lead. The largest in this contest so far as they work it across. Andy Stout. Her pass deflected into the hands of Sullivan. Now back around as Marley Stout gets it at the base. Back out to Franklin, who loses it. Over to Andy Stout. Air ball as Sisney tries to keep it alive. 4 seconds on the shot clock. It's going to have to be a quick one here. Stout gets the inbound, pulls the trigger from 3, and gets it to go. Minute 20. Boatman drives, goes up for 2, can't get it. Keller gets a hold of the ball and a jump ball called. Stop here and play. As it looks like they will be escorting somebody out. Wow.
I don't know what to make of that situation.
Been a long time since I've seen that at a high school basketball game, truthfully.
I mean, I didn't see anything either. So.
I wasn't either. I didn't see a warning or anything either. I didn't see it until they started standing over there and somebody was getting up. I was trying to figure out what was going on, but here's a foul called at the base.
That'll only be Black's first foul, not second.
Black called for her first. This a chance for Stout to bring it to 10 points. And can't capitalize on the first. Second one falls. 11-point lead for Girard. Now that comfortable 15 that was growing so quickly, now being cut into by the Raiders. And Boatman gets called for a travel with 35.3 seconds. Virtually no shot clock here, only 0.3 seconds separating game and shot clock. Bland pulls up from the perimeter, can't get it to go. Rebound is fought for. Jump ball called with 19 on the clock. And that will be Girard ball. Down the floor. Black over to Sisney. Now the pass inside. I think Black just kind of hesitated for just a second on that cut to the interior. And a good steal by Keller up top. Knocked out of bounds by the Raiders with 1.8 seconds left. Girard was caught off guard just a little bit on that takedown the floor. Now the inbound as Briley Black pulls up for the triple, can't get it to go. And that will end the third quarter of action. We head into the fourth. 8 minutes to play here on Girard Sports Live. We'll be right back after this.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
Back on Girard Sports Live, 11-point lead here for the Trojans. Frontenac trailing here at home for them as they beat the Trojans earlier on this season in a pretty good fashion as well. And now coming down the stretch of this game, it's looking to either be a close one or a big Trojan win.
I mean, we always prefer that big Trojan win, but this Trojan team definitely looks like a different team than we saw in that first matchup between these two squads.
Sisney with a big steal. Back the other way as Kester fighting off some defenders. Gives it off to Keller. Drains the three. Starts the scoring once again for this Girard team, who put up 14 after a slow start to that third quarter, matching their performance by only one less point in the second quarter as Boatman reels in a rebound off of the three from Bland. Now down the floor, Boatman was looking to take it to the rim. Now hands off, O'Ran for a tricky two. Can't get it to go, rebound Bland. Down the floor to Stout. And that one's blocked by Boatman. Rebounded by Stout. Jump ball forced by Sisney. And that will go to the Trojans. It's a tough situation if you're Marley Stout. You feel like you've kind of got a role to play as the leading scorer for this Frontenac team, and just unable to get the job done at times when you could have probably just kicked that one back out and gotten an open three look. But then again, the three really isn't falling either. It's just a tough position to put a player in.
And on the other side of things, it looks like Stout had caused that foul on Marley Sisney, and that is Stout's third, and it looks like she will be taken out of the game.
So Sisney goes 2 for 2 on that visit. 16-point lead now. That is the largest lead. Once again, growing it here in the fourth. Three from Franklin. Won't go. Rebound is saved by Sullivan, and one from Brooklyn Condon. Who will try to cut into this lead. And she will. Down to a 13-point lead for the Trojans. And contact from Bland to Sisney leads to a foul on Bland, and that'll be her fourth. 6 minutes to go here. Decision time for Coach Fields, as he will get Ashbacher to the scores table more than likely pulling Bland for at least a period here in this game. And now a steal from Franklin. Down the floor to Sullivan, who tries for a two, can't get it. I didn't think she established herself there either, but now Condon for the three. Can't get it off the hands of Kester and Boatman, and out of bounds. Just a series of unfortunate events there for Girard.
Just a little bit of, you don't want to say messy defense, but just a lot going on that one possession.
Oh, they make up for it there. A quick swat away from Kester, and now Oran down the floor, gets tripped up and draws a foul. That goes against Reese Franklin, her second. That's the third team foul from Frontenac as well, so pretty close to putting this Girard team into bonus, which would be notable here so early in the fourth. This one turned back over by the Trojans. And with only a 13-point lead, I know 13 points, it's a good number, but a couple threes can certainly cut into that. And if you're Girard, you want to see that scoring continue at least until you feel like there's too much time or not enough time.
And I mean, we've seen it before that teams will, you don't want to say give up in that fourth quarter, but the scoring will slow down, and that's whenever the opposing team is able to really kind of crawl back and make this game competitive.
That's quick turnovers that'll really kill an offense. Not only just kill their scoring, but give the opposing team chances for quick retaliations. A big rebound from Keller as she tries to throw it off the foot of Andy Stout after the swirl out from Kester. This one's tipped. Keller tries to keep possession. And we've got a timeout called. Kester and Keller were on top of it. Timeout was called by Coach Urlacher. And we will take a moment to acknowledge our other timeout sponsor, which is Salon 214, now open at 107 North Ozark in Girard. Take a timeout to pamper yourself with Vanessa and her team at Salon 214. And take a timeout to check out Salon 214 on Facebook as well. Trojans leading by 11. That's a huge timeout from Coach Urlacher to retain possession. Keep this team rolling on offense, as if they turn that ball over. Excuse me, got a little bit of an error here as our table's being bumped. But as if Frontenac were to gather that possession, or if they would have forced the jump ball, they would have gotten the possession arrow and been able to take over from there, which would have given them pretty favorable court position with 4:30 to go, trying to knife this one into single digits.
And I mean, I don't think the Trojans have used many timeouts in this game, a lot of them coming from the Raiders, and so just a great timeout to keep the possession with your team.
Double dribble called on Kennedy Keller. As she took it to the hoop and dropped in a big time two, and now you've got that position that I just laid out for Frontenac, trying to cut in to single digits here as Franklin kicks out. Condon around. Sullivan to Bland, trying to get another three. Can't get it to fall. Rebound Boatman. And I gotta say, I don't know if the three was really the play there from Frontenac. I feel like you gotta start knifing in with some of those twos. As Oran tries and can't get it. Bland with a rebound. Looking to move the ball down the floor. Steps out, gives it off to Condon. Franklin hands it back off. Bland passes it straight to Boatman. Boatman's pass to Keller is off of her back, and she keeps possession. Urlacher says keep the pace as they bring it down the floor. Keller trying to work it inside, loses it. Big collision on the floor as Ashbacher gains possession. Bland steps out of bounds before getting a hand on it. Just an over shot on the pass from Ashbacher, and man, a couple of times there for the Raiders that they could have really made something happen in this game. Boatman tries to drive off the glass, and to Kester, who gets the 2 to fall. Back up to a 13-point lead, 2:30 to go. Franklin tries to go up for 2. Ashbacher gets the put back to fall. And Sisney will be fouled up top. On the press up from, I believe, Reese Franklin. No, that'll be Ashbacher.
That'll be her second foul. So for this Raiders team, no one in really big foul trouble except for number 10. Other than that, pretty clean from the Raiders, and I believe the Trojans don't have anyone with 4 fouls either, so don't believe anyone should foul out.
Kester gathers that slightly errant pass, 15 seconds on the shot clock. As Oran tries to drive and will be shooting 2 as they've entered bonus. That'll be the 3rd foul against Lakin Sullivan, who reached her second in the second quarter. Oran with a pretty uncharacteristic miss from the foul stripe on the first try.
She's been one of the better free throw shooters all season.
Makes the second attempt. 12-point lead as Franklin tries to gather a pass that I don't think she was expecting. Bland now looking to drive, puts up a floater and in for 2. Down to 10 points. On the lead for Girard. Girard trailing by 10. And they will call a timeout for the Raiders. 95 seconds remaining. Coming down this game. I mean, it's been a very interesting one. It's hard to draw up, what exactly could go down in this game that Girard really needs to avoid.
Yeah, and I think this game's kind of been, you could say all over the place with just, you've had spurts of scoring that just appear, and each team will have quick 4, 6, 8 points, and then it'll just slow down. And so it's definitely one of those odder games that we've had with just both teams. And so I think for the Trojans, if you're able just to keep up what you've been doing, the Raiders haven't, broken that 10-point lead since really early in that second half with that third quarter. And so,
yeah, I would say just limiting the quick turnovers has got to be the conclusion here. They're going to be pressing up just a little bit. Quick turnovers are going to be what kills you, if anything does, if you're Girard. Hand off to Kester, over to Sisney. Now Keller working it inside, poked out. Out of bounds on Franklin from the Raiders.
And if you're the Trojans, you need to make sure on the defensive side of things that the Raiders aren't getting those good 3-ball opportunities, and they haven't been as efficient from 3 tonight, but things can always pick up pretty quickly, and so you need to make sure that those opportunities are covered.
Oran with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it into Kester on the backdoor cut. Perfect timing from Maddie Kester to capitalize underneath. Franklin looking to retaliate, and she does quickly. Just under a minute, 47 and counting. O'Rand, hands off. Kester to Sisney. Kester gets a jump ball force with 27 seconds. Still a 10-point lead, and now it's just establishing the defense here for Girard. You want to hold on as long as you can. It's going to need a quick bucket out of the Raiders.
The shot clock is turned off.
This one blocked by Kester, picked up by Boatman. They will have to take it across midcourt as Oran steps across, holds on to it, and Girard will best the Raiders tonight here in Frontenac. Both of them getting their wins away. 1-1 against each other and tied for second in the CNC, right behind those Colgan Panthers as we come down the stretch of the postseason. Very, very hard fought and very incredible win from Girard tonight. That will take us into the post-game show, brought to you by Eastside Cafe. Experience the best breakfast in town 6 days a week at 120 South Ozark Street in Girard. Eastside Cafe, a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. And Caleb, as we get into this post-game show, give me some of the stats that you have collected throughout this game.
So looking at some of the scoring, it looks like our leading scorer tonight is Maddie Kester with 16, followed by Kennedy Keller with 11. Erica Boatman has 9. Marley Sisney has 4, Carson has 3, and Briley Black has 2. And so definitely big scoring nights from those first 3 girls. And then the only other stat that I have down is that the team as a whole had 6 steals throughout the game. So definitely just another one of those big defensive nights for this Lady Trojan team.
Trezona and Mooneyham, the only scoreless from the field tonight. And pretty uncharacteristic, but also we're seeing very limited minutes out of those two, and even Briley Black, really, we've seen Trezona kind of step into a higher minutes threshold as of lately, maybe given more of a rest to Kester and Boatman collectively and trying to work that post just a little bit more. I know Erlacher had been talking to us about the rebounding and seeing how he can improve that. Well, maybe keeping 2 post players on has just been kind of the solution there. So it's been nice to see that working out in their favor, as we did see Trezona get in there and grab a couple of boards off the glass. Great performance from her underneath for the minutes that she played, and of course the other 2 coming off the bench making some good plays as well as everybody else on the floor. Great job by the Trojans. They all work together, and we see that time and time again. As they do that, it has proven to be very effective for this Girard team. The player of the game tonight is brought to you by Girard Booster Club Game Day. And Caleb, any ideas as to who you think the player of the game should be?
I think for me it's pretty clear of just Maddie Kester had the most points tonight with 16, really leading that scoring effort. But then again, on the defensive side of things, she had multiple blocks and multiple takeaways, along with just playing good perimeter and interior defense. So I think for me tonight, it will be Maddie Kester.
Yeah, and I feel like if Kester didn't have the defensive performances she did, Kennedy Keller really would be in the running for that player of the game because of all the steals she had, along with being second in points tonight, as we've got Coach Erlacher headed up right now to speak with us. Don't know how he's going to quite get here, so.
A little crowded today.
Yeah, it is a little bit crowded. Nice show out from these Girard Trojan fans as he's going to inch his way in here and take a seat right there next to you, Caleb. Coach Urlacher on Girard Sports Live for the post-game coaches interview. Coach, another great win here, this time away at Frontenac. You guys fell short of them earlier on this season. Really seemed like you had their number tonight. Is there something in specific that you saw that you really capitalized on here tonight?
So, we had a tragedy in our community, and the first time we played these guys, we played Riverton on a Tuesday, and we played these guys on a Friday, and that was a really rough week for us. I thought our kids played their hearts out that game, but I still don't believe that we were who we are. Tonight I just think that we were who we are, we're getting really good on defense. We're getting really good about talking. We're getting really good about getting to people and making very little open. There's just not a lot of open looks to be had, I think, with the defense we're playing. Kids are shifting, kids are communicating, kids are talking. Carson Orand and Kennedy Keller are just really quick, and so that helps as well. But, tip my hat to Frontenac. What a hard-fought game. I felt like we got that lead in the first half, and then we just kind of held on for dear life in the second half. I thought there was a couple times where I thought, we were going to go ahead and push that score on up and finish them, but to their credit, they always stayed, within that striking distance, and I would expect no less from them. They're a really good basketball team. Be a tough out. I hope we don't have to turn around and play them again at Sub-State. Hopefully it works out some way to where they throw us each on the other side of the bracket from each other, but there's a tough bracket out there. I'd really stress to the kids tonight that, enjoy this win. And, man, you come to Frontenac and you get a win, you've done something. But, we got to go to Fort Scott and we got to go to Baxter. And getting a good win like this and then dropping one at Baxter or, Fort Scott's a really good team. It wouldn't be a fluke for them to beat us. But, we really need 2 more wins this week.
Yeah. And one thing that me and Caleb were mentioning in the postgame show is how much we have noticed that rebound game has elevated. We see Trojans getting in with a little extra minutes in place of Boatman and Kester when they need a rest, as well as Kennedy Keller getting there under the glass. Have you noticed that difference as well coming down this stretch?
Absolutely. I said before the game that, probably the team that wins the rebound battle is probably going to win this basketball game. I don't know how it ended up, but I have to believe that we were at least even with them, and I felt like we probably we made more mistakes than I wanted to, but probably not as many mistakes as they made, I think, at different times. That they're number one, the Franklin girls, just so long and does such a good job of tapping the ball out on people and stuff, and so they in their own right, they've got some athletes too, and just really love the way our seniors are playing. The seniors are playing like seniors. E hit some big shots in the first half, and then Maddie picked up right where she left off. E kind of, I think, got thrown out of her game a little bit, got some fouls, and I set her out of precaution. As long as we kept the lead, I set her there in that second quarter, and I never felt like she got completely back into the flow of the game, which is tough for her, but I thought Maddie picked up right where she left off and hit big shot after big shot after big shot. When they would start to get it under 10, Maddie would hit a 3 or a big shot, and just do what we needed to do what seniors do. So, and again, like I said, can't say enough about Carson Oran and Kennedy out front with our defense, and really everybody locating shooters and getting the shooters in time to at least contest them, make them rush that shot. And most high school basketball players are a different shooter if someone's flying at them versus if they're wide open.
Yeah, and final question here, Coach, as we come down the final stretch of the regular season, only about a week from now to go here in this season. Is there anything you're looking to really hammer down on with this team as they start to find their groove, their stride once again, kind of following all these injuries and I guess, sicknesses.
Yeah, I think we're 5 or 6 in a row here, and we just want to keep that going. Always at this time, the further along you get, and if you're successful enough to get into a sub-state semifinal, if you're successful to get up into a sub-state final, if you're lucky enough to go out to state, you really have to have a half-court offense. You really got to be able, that other team's not going to give you a bunch of easy layups down at the other end. You're going to have to set up your offense, you're going to have to run it, and you're going to have to execute, set screens, cut hard off the screens, and get easy buckets. I thought down the stretch we did a really, really good job. One of our last possessions there, we ran the clock all the way down, and then Maddie cut back door, and we found her for that wide open shot pretty much right at the buzzer, and you couldn't run a possession better than that at the end of a game. So just got to keep doing that. Again, keep that lockdown defense. We have a great tradition at Girard, and that defense is something that's always we've had pride in, and we're getting to that standard again this year.
Well, once again, congratulations, Coach, on the win tonight. We look forward to your contests in Fort Scott as well as Baxter Springs this week. And as we wrap up this regular season, hoping the best for you and your players.
Thank you.
Yes. So that will be the post-game coaches interview brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot debit card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. And with that, we will talk about the last moment of the game. That'll be the shot of the game here, Caleb. And I think Coach Urlacher kind of summed it up in his interview perfectly, as I feel like the shot of the game should go to Maddie Kester on that backdoor look there in the fourth quarter. I think that was really the icing on the cake and just kind of put this game on ice, for lack of a better term.
And I think that was just really the nail in the coffin that got this team to really seal the win and fully just make sure that this team was the one that came out on top. So I agree with you. Just some of the honorable mentions was some of those early shots from Erica Boatman that she was just able to get the team going, and I think the first 6 points from this Trojan team was from Erica, and so just shout out to both of the seniors, but I agree with that take on Maddie's last shot there in the end.
Yeah, actually, I actually kind of forgot, but Boatman did really open up this game with that lead and held on to it as well. She was a huge factor, and we kind of been talking after last game, what if Boatman was going to be filling into a different role with things kind of changing with this Girard offense and defense after her being out for kind of an extensive period of time. And then now she just she gets back in the game. She's looking like she's in tip-top shape, not looking like anything's really hindering her. And that's, once again, that's exactly what you want to see if you're Coach Urlacher. So that shot of the game is brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. We'll be right back with the pregame for the boys' game. Stay tuned.
There's a lot of choices when you think about buying crop insurance. One thing that's important to us is the roots and loyalty of where you come from and knowing who you can trust. And with all the obstacles that farmers are dealing with on a constant basis, we're there and we're living those struggles, and we understand them. And we got to put bushels in the bin to provide for each family. And when that doesn't happen, it's good to know you have a good crop insurance agent to cover you when the hard times happen.
Selling equipment can be a hassle, whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire. The time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Producers Cooperative Association is the area leader in providing quality agricultural products, services, and markets. PCA has what you need to maximize your operation with a full-service agronomy department, grain origination, handling and storage, bulk fuels and lubricants, propane, a jam-packed farm store, and livestock feeds in bulk or bagged. PCA is proud to call Girard home and to support Trojan athletics. Stop by or see more online at pcacoop.com.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. Licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your field and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. And now Matt's care for farmers goes beyond seed as an agent for the new 4-state farm and ranch. From the best inputs available to the protection you need, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy at Murphy Seed.
Prairie Mission Retirement Village. People caring about people in the loving spirit of Christ. Spacious apartments made to feel like home and a loving, caring, experienced staff. That's the Prairie Mission difference. A continuing retirement community promoting person-centered care with an on-site clinic from the Vet Health and offering independent living apartments, assisted living, and long-term care, all with the respect and care our loved ones deserve. Prairie Mission Retirement Village, St. Paul, 620-449-2400.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
Back to pass. Lehman diving for the end zone, and they get the listing. Lehman passes off to Siebert on the far wing. Siebert the lob, and Lehman with the alley-oop dunk to close the deal. Lehman a hard hit ball to left field. Siebert is at the wall, and they close another one. Lehman Realty with another big-time win. Lehman Realty, proud to support the Girard Trojans.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
Tries to make something out of nothing. The Trojans all over him. It's going to be a big loss.
The Trojan sack means $2 short stacks at Eastside Cafe. Kick off your day with a hearty breakfast or take that midday break at Eastside Cafe. And this fall, when the Trojans get a sack, you get $2 short stacks the following day. Dine in only. Restrictions apply. Eastside Cafe, a favorite of the 4 states winner. Go Trojans from Eastside Cafe.
And we're back for the pregame show here for Girard Sports Live. Caleb, we talked about those area matchups in the girls' game. Can you restate those once more so we can lay out those boys' games here tonight for the area matchups in the CNC?
Looking at some of those area matchups, you've got Baxter going up against Columbus, Riverton going up against Galena, and then the one CNC matchup the one game that was not a CNC matchup was Colgan going up against Independence. And I believe both Colgan boys and girls had gotten the win in those games. And then that final CNC matchup is your Girard Trojans facing off against these Frontenac Raiders. So very normal night throughout the CNC in basketball. No matchup too major except for this Frontenac and Girard teams.
Yeah, and once again, you see another time where this Girard team has fallen short of Frontenac earlier on in the season and now looks to get it back here late in the season. Once again, playing away. The girls were able to do it in their game, so now the boys looking to get their job done as they've been on a bit of a tough slide as of late. And Coach Westcott has expressed, he's loving the effort. He's loving the ability that these boys have to bring these games within striking range, but he just wants them to be able to close it out. We've seen a lot of times in these last couple of weeks, these games come down to one possession, and then right at the end of the game, the opponent pulls away. And he just wants them to be able to grab that lead and hang on.
And in these games, the Trojans have gone, in their last 6 games, have gone 3-3. And so kind of just splitting that line of just your win and loss column. But the last time that this Girard team had faced off against Frontenac, it ended in a 51-55 loss. And so just a tough loss for the Trojans in that game. And so definitely looking to bounce back against this Frontenac Raider team who I believe has a losing record.
Yes, and I was about to make a statement on that. Girard and Frontenac both on kind of different paths this season. Girard starting off really hot before break with a massively winning record and then kind of collecting most of their losses there after that break over winter, whereas Frontenac, on the other hand, started off with 1 win prior to the break and then collected basically all of their wins so far this season afterwards. So they have been on a bit of a streak. Although they have a losing record, they've been on a good spell here. I don't know exactly what the record is right now. I can find that here real quick.
For the Trojans, our boys are 10-8, but I believe the Raiders are, I know it's not great.
Yeah, they were on a bit of a slide to start. Now they're up to 7-10, coming off of a win over St. Mary's Colgan earlier on last week. as well as a loss to Baxter Springs. So two pretty well polar opposites right there. I mean, when you look at, two teams that really you would have expected to go separate ways, Frontenac grabs a win against a team that's got a huge winning record, and then against a team, and then loses to a team who right now sits at 4-9. You're like, really, what is this team even capable of? If they get on a hot streak, are they gonna go on a tear through the postseason? But right now, it just seems like they're just an outscored team. They're a boat race type of team that it's gonna take, as silly as this sounds, it's gonna take more points to beat them.
Yeah, and I mean, Frontenac, the girls we had said that are definitely a little bit more of a defensive team, but then if you look at this boys team, you can almost say it's the opposite of just, this boys team will try to outscore you until you can't keep up with them. And so I think the big thing for the Trojans tonight is being able to play defense and play good defense while still managing your offense and being able to score in a competitive way to keep up with this rated team.
Yeah, and we've seen this Trojan team be able to step up, I think, similarly to the girls' game. What I would like to see out of the gate here for Girard is a lead. I want to see that first bucket fall on the Girard side. If that happens, this team shapes up so much nicer than when they start off down in the chase.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think that if this boys team can kind of get that confidence of staying up early, that's what's going to lead them to continue to get those easy buckets and continue to really just to lead in this game.
Tip-off between Wegner and Cullen, as Wegner will get the best of him and win the tip for Frontenac. Luke Sneed gets the pass on the inside from the point. Kale Coombs, and an early bucket there. Starts off Frontenac. Now, I know we put a lot of emphasis on that first bucket, but not to say that this game is over by any kind of means.
And I mean, definitely you want to look at more of that first possession than a first bucket. Nonetheless, just looking at how well this Trojan team can really execute on the offensive side of things.
Just goes to show how good Frontenac is on the offensive, how much the Trojans will have to get done through the rest of this game. Cullen tries to take to the basket and goes right over the rim, can't get it. Inside pass is deflected, but right into the hands of Sneed, who can't get the bucket. Quick deflection leads to a great contested two from Cullen. Girard now working the offensive with Buckingham. Cullen delivers back out to Brocob and now around. They find Buckingham on the opposite side. Out to Cullen and Stevens. Stevens pulls up for the trifecta. Can't get it, it's rebounded by Coombs. Working now with Clayton. Over to Coombs. As Smith tries to drive, loses the ball into the hands of Jackson Smith. Over to Brocob. Couple of quick turnovers here. Brocob pulls up, long range two. Can't get it to fall. Wegner with the rebound. Wegner, the only senior listed on this roster for Frontenac, and a way overshot pass from Brogan Smith. I don't even think somebody could have reeled that in if they were inbounds.
Just a wild pass.
Cullen looking to get it in, gets it to Buckingham. Now we see this Trojan defense starting to step up, see what they can do on the offensive. Buckingham at the point. Delivers to Smith. Stevens now over to Brocob. Shot clock at 6. Buckingham hands off to Cullen, who drives the paint, hands off to Smith, and gets the bucket right before the buzzer.
And that was an incredible find from Ben to find Jackson down low with the clock ticking down.
Oddly reminiscent of that Kester bucket that we saw in the girls' game in the fourth quarter. Sneed looking to drive, hands off Wegner. Ooh, tricky position, but makes it happen regardless. Gets the lead back up to 2 for Frontenac, nearly half the way through this first quarter. Smith, scanning, delivers to Buckingham, pulls the trigger on a quick three, and gets the lead back to Girard favor. Clayton now trying to work it to the point. Coombs hands off. Clayton now looking to drive, and a charge called. Buckingham wears it proudly. And I was just about to say on the start of that possession, but I didn't want to jinx it. There hadn't been any fouls up until that point. Drake Clayton gets the first.
Looks like for the Raiders, big group substitution. I believe 4 new faces checking in.
Yeah, pretty close to cleaning house there for Frontenac. So we'll get to those in a minute. Brocob for the triple, and he drills it. 8-4 score for the Raiders. You've got number 12, Gunnar Harina. Number 15, Jake Murphy. Number 10, Jackson Barcelona. And number 14, Caden Mirando. As they work it to Murphy, he takes the 2. Can't fall, rebound, Smith. Brocob checks up at the perimeter, and they'll work it around. Brocob's loose ball ends up in the hands of Smith. Now up to the top with Cullen. Cullen. Here's Brocob trying again for the 3. Cullen with the rebound, kicks out. Buckingham almost on the 3 attempt there, as Cullen will be fouled on the ground.
I mean, great rebounds just from Ben Cullen to get his opportunities for those 3-point shooters. And here comes the Trojan bench with that triple substitution of Newton, Schultz, and Burke all checking in, while it's like Buckingham, Stevens, and Brocob will all take a seat.
Yeah, we usually call the tall package leaving one of either parents, Stevens or Buckingham. This is the super tall package here for Girard. Schultz gets it in the wing, fires and drills it.
And I mean, we were going to note that you normally leave Buckingham or Stevens in for that 3-point shooting ability, but you have 2 of those taller guys in both Schultz and Newton that can definitely shoot the 3 coming off your bench.
Well, not to mention Jackson Smith as well, staying in there. He can pull the trigger from range as well. Burke, we've seen him pull up as also. Not as often, certainly more of a post player, but this Girard team looking to reel in a bunch of rebounds here as Newton now fires.
Everyone's got a piece of
for
it.
3.
That is 4 threes from 4 different people.
Big time makes from all over the board. Right now, 4 for 5 on the last 5 attempts from the perimeter for the Trojans. With this break in the action, we will talk about our sponsor, our timeout sponsor, Live Well Crawford County. This break in the action is brought to you by the Southeast Kansas Player Health Alliance and Live Well Crawford County, reminding you to know your limits when gambling and know when the game is playing you. If you or someone you know, has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-426-2537 for free assistance. Girard out to a big lead to start this one off, and we will see a quick substitution of an even taller guy, and Jake Martinez subbing in, number 55 for Frontenac. Surprised to see Wegner not getting more minutes here for this Raiders team, the tallest listed for them, as Mirando pulls up from 3, can't get it. This one bobbled and back out to Mirando. Fighting for it through the paint. Burke! Oh my goodness! What a play! Capitalizes on it. Harrison Burke with a highlight reel pass. And a foul from Schultz on the other side of the floor.
I mean, what a pass from Harrison. That might be one of the best passes I've seen, Drake.
It might be one of the best of his career. Obviously, I haven't been watching every game of his, but man, hard to beat that.
I mean, he might maybe a little bit of luck, but that ball ended up perfectly in Breyer's hands.
Right in the breadbasket. Wagner, his shot blocked by Newton on the floor. Newton's got it. Tries to give it out to Burke. They're still fighting for it. And we've got a jump ball called. Wow.
And it will head the other way for this Trojan team. Just incredible basketball from the Trojans here in the first quarter. And this is one of the things we had talked about of just, if you're the Trojans, if you can get out and going early, that's going to be big to secure this win.
Man, I'm just looking. I'm staring at Harrison Burke just to see maybe a smidge of emotion off of that play, but he has not shown any. Shows how much of a level-headed player he is, and fundamental as well, as he takes that one straight to the rim for another two.
And I mean, Drake, everyone tonight is getting a piece of the action. Just anyone can score at any time for this Trojan team.
This one pickpocketed by Burke. The relay to Schultz, as he will take to the backboard, can't get it. Fighting for the rebound, ends up in the hands of Jackson Barcelona. Inside of a minute to go. Frontenac with 4 total points here in this first quarter. A very lackluster performance offensively. Smith kicks out. Murphy back across to Barcelona. Murphy inside to Smith, who goes up and gets the 2. No more shot clock as we dip inside of 30 seconds to go here in the first. Buckingham gets fouled by Barcelona. That'll be the 3rd foul from Frontenac, second from Barcelona. Inbound gets to Stevens. That's a very interesting set of 5. Comes out onto the court here for Girard. This one worked over to Buckingham, who reels it in. Great athleticism from Briggs. Buckingham inside to Bird and tacks on another 2.
Incredible find from Briggs to find Harrison
1
down
second.
low.
Murphy, 3, no dice. 14-point lead for this Trojan team to break open the first half. We'll head it, or the first quarter, my bad, man. We'll head into the second quarter of action. 26 is the score. We'll be right back.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
And we're back. Second quarter underway after an exciting first for you Girard fans. Mirando over and around to Smith. This one poked out into the hands of Buckingham. The transition right over the head of Perrin Stevens. And could have been a quick added 2. And I know you feel like, only 14, you're at 14 points, it's all right, but man, you just love to punish this team after they beat you in such a close call earlier on this season.
And I mean, so far the Trojans kind of, on the defensive side of things, it looks like a cat playing with a mouse in the first quarter. Just the Raiders not really being able to get anything.
Big block by Cullen, right as you're saying that. And now he will get called for a foul. Gets a little too much forearm involved. But that'll only be his first.
I mean, the amount of steals, the amount of blocks that this Trojan team has had so far is just, this is incredible basketball to watch if you are a Trojan fan.
Yeah, take it back, actually. That was his second. I forgot. He's the only Trojan with a foul right now, and now Cullen's sitting at 2.
It does look like he will sit, and Breyer Schultz will check into the game.
Schultz adding a little bit more range to the shooting capabilities, but maybe not as much power down low. So, interesting trade-off between him and Cullen. This Cullen really has been that rebounding force down low for the Trojans. Surprised to see Jackson Smith not really step into that role more often.
I mean, Jackson definitely has that height to help with those rebounds.
Schultz hands off to Stevens. Now Stevens working the perimeter. 9 seconds on the shot clock as Schultz checks up on the 3. Brokob out to Stevens for the 3. Can't go, and it's out of bounds. Back to Frontenac. Not a bad possession. Used up a lot of time, looked for the available shot, and it just wasn't quite there. Good take there from Coombs, won't go for Frontenac. Schultz, they swing it back around to Stevens. Buckingham with it now. Schultz pulls up from 3. Can't go. Rebound Smith.
So far, if you're the Trojans, your offense was like a freight train there in the first quarter, and so you want to make sure that you can kind of continue that in the second quarter and not let off the brakes to let the Raiders kind of come back before half.
Yeah, and I will say maybe a little trigger happy from range. Like to see that be worked a little more interior basketball, especially with the height that you've got on the floor. And I think Coach Westcott with this timeout is going to try and tell them that, hey, I love the aggression, I love the confidence in the 3 ball. I know we had a couple of them there in the first quarter, but right now we've built that lead. Let's try to, just keep it going.
Yeah, and I think if you're able to get those down low interior points, that's where you're going to be able to get this lead and just continue to grow it almost, because the Raiders right now have had 4 points between both quarters, and they've done a little bit better job of scoring here in the second, but you need to take advantage of this Raider team who's just been so good at scoring and kind of taking off with it. You need to take advantage of the fact that the scoring has been very limited for the Raiders tonight.
Inbound goes to Clayton for 3, gets it. Raiders break double digits with 5:50 remaining in the second. Stevens swings it to Brokob. Over to Smith, and now Schultz. Looking for an interior pass. As Schultz now gonna pull up from range. And he gets it to go. And I wonder if Coach Westcott is, maybe that was what he was looking for in the meeting. I don't know. I feel like maybe you would have said work it more interior, but you could see a bit of a sly grin on his face after that make. And wow,
what a shot from
the
Jackson.
acrobatics from Jackson Smith. being able to work it all the way around the hoop. And this one poked out by Buckingham.
This Girard team just continues to amaze me tonight.
Schultz trying to work the inside, gives it off. Buckingham for the three.
Oh, man.
Lets it fly.
Just another three.
28-13, a 15-point lead. Back up into the big-time double digits as we will take a break here on Girard Sports Live. We'll be right back.
Whole vision of becoming the four-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house.
I mean, that means as a team shooting 5 or 6 for 3.
And we're back on Girard Sports Live. Shot goes up and down from Gunnar Harina. (15-28). We're talking in the break there, Caleb, about the shooting capabilities of Girard tonight. They've only got 3 missed three-pointers. Buckingham on the inside drive, but just kind of showcasing that ability for, and it's been spread out. All these players being able to shoot from the perimeter.
And I mean, so far, everyone that's checked into the game, besides both Ben and Perrin, have gotten some form of scoring, and a lot of that scoring has come from the arc.
Burke takes it down the floor. Work it around to Stevens, who did have one of those missed threes, but that was at a buzzer beater, so give him a little bit of credit there as he just kind of had to toss one up. Schultz gets called for a travel.
A little bit of contact before that travel, but.
And I think that's what Coach Westcott's trying to plead his case with the official as well. Hard to keep your feet under you when you're getting pushed. But regardless, Clayton works it around to Coombs. Coombs inside to Sneed. Now back out. 16 on the shot clock, loose ball taken away by Smith, as he will rise up and lay it in. Clayton drives inside, draws a block foul.
And that was almost a charge, and that's something that we see from Harrison Burke quite regularly in these games.
Yeah, and I think had he actually collided with him, maybe a different story actually, but that one, unfortunately, the punishment goes to Burke. Only his first foul though, nothing too scary there for the Trojans, and only the second team foul as well, inside of 3 minutes to go here in the second. Working the perimeter. This one gets in, back out to Coombs. 9 on the shot clock, poked out by Schultz. Kept on the outside by Barcelona. 5 seconds to go, and another deflected pass. That was 3 times that a pass was deflected by Girard on that possession alone.
And I mean, we just keep seeing it tonight that this Frontenac Raider team isn't really able to get much inside, and just the Trojans are doing a great job of making them keep it around the perimeter and then just getting steals whenever they do try to pass it down low.
Buckingham knocks down the first. for the second, cannot go. Newton gets the rebound, kicks back out. Buckingham sidesteps for the fading two. Can't get it. Burke tries to tip the rebound and no dice. Frontenac ends up with the ball. Here's Mirando taking it down the floor. And kick ball called. So that one was off the foot of Harrison Burke. Blake Brocobb comes in for Briggs Buckingham. $18-point lead as it sits for Girard. Inbound to Murphy, over to Coombs. Now Smith pulls the trigger from range, and he gets it to fall. Smith over to Stevens and around. Brocobb to Burke from the point. Can't get it. And coming down with it was Mirando. Smith flicks it across to Murphy. Can't get the three to go. And Mirando, I don't even know if he had to save that, as that was a big time save from Frontenac. And they will call the timeout in time. Girard trying to plead their case, saying he may have traveled on that save, but I didn't get a good look at it. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
From what I had seen, it kind of, he was falling down and could have gone either way, of just depending on really when the coach got the timeout in time. If he had called it right as he's falling, or if he called it already as he was on the ground, probably depends on if that would be a travel or not. But
well, regardless, Frontenac takes over. 1:18 to go here in the first half. 15-point lead. And this little secondary squad for the Raiders that lacks a lot of the starters, which not anymore necessarily, but when they do, a lot of their points coming off of the bench. Smith fires from three and gets another. Going from 8 to 21. No, I believe from 6 to 21 here in the second quarter.
And I mean, the Raiders are starting to, you don't want to say crawl back into it, but making the lead a little bit shorter right as the Trojans were about to a 20-point lead, and now that lead is just cut down to 12. So for the Trojans, if the scoring's going to pick up, now would be the time right here to do it right before the half.
Buckingham, they swing it over to Newton for the three. Bit long there on that try, and out of bounds on the Raiders. They'll keep it here.
It was a good play by Jackson to hit it off of a Raider to keep it Girard ball.
A nice heads-up play from Murphy to get his hands on the ball. So forces the possession arrow out of the hands of Girard. And now Stevens and Burke will both come back into the game for Schultz and Newton. Smith inbound to Burke.
8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Brocobb looking to drive. Out to Stevens for the three. Can't go. And I don't think he got the rim there. I think he got the bottom of the backboard in the net.
So opportunity for the Raiders. No shot clock to make it a one, not a one possession game, but within single digits going into half.
Rando hands off to Smith, who drives the paint. Goes straight through Burke. Not a whistle for anything. I mean, should have been something, I feel like, whether it was against Burke or not. Very interesting ending to that, but that does bring it back to a 10-point game here for Frontenac as they reel in 4 points from the first half, or first quarter. Sorry, I'm all over the place, guys. We'll go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Since 1918, GN Bank has been the heart of our community. Big enough to meet all your banking needs, but small enough to offer that personal touch you deserve. From agricultural loans to home mortgages, GN Bank has the expertise, products, and service to help you thrive. With a pledge to treat others ethically, be adaptable, focus on customers, and invest in the communities they serve, GN Bank is committed to your success. The best place to bank and borrow, GN Bank, where community banking truly comes first. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
Welcome to Homestead of Girard, assisted and independent living right here in our hometown. At Homestead, seniors enjoy compassionate care in a community designed for comfort. Licensed professionals provide support with daily activities, dressing, bathing, and medication management. Residents enjoy home-cooked meals and the comfort of their own private apartment. Call 620-724-6760 to schedule your tour today. Homestead of Girard, senior living with compassion, comfort, and community.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Hi, do you offer insurance bundling?
Enter authentication code to start transaction.
Where would I get the code?
Please enter code.
Okay. Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
Wrong.
Let's talk about bundling and see if there are other ways for you to save with a super check.
That sounds great.
Here, take a look.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Call Judd, Lori, Ginny, or Amber in Girard today.
And we're back on the halftime show presented by GN Bank as the announcement for the canned food drive winner has gone to Frontenac. Caleb, I wonder if I heard this correctly. Was it a 15 can difference?
I think that's what it was, and so, God, that's probably the closest the Trojans have been all year, really, or not all year, all time to winning that, because I don't think we've really ever won it. It's a newer tradition, but Frontenac typically will take the cake with that. But I mean, a great cause either way, with both schools just raising money and donating cans to help out local food pantries.
Well, we join the halftime show as it is brought to you by GN Bank, where they've been providing customers with the highest quality financial services in a friendly and personal way for over 100 years. Personal, business, or agricultural needs, turn to GN Bank. Learn more at gn-bank.com. Caleb, as we look back at this first half, only a 10-point lead now, as it was 14 after the first quarter. What is Girard doing right now that maybe needs a little improvement, and what are they doing that is looking pretty solid?
I think the biggest thing is just making sure that Frontenac doesn't get those easy opportunities and making sure that the Raiders have to really work for what they're getting instead of just kind of giving them those easy chances at the bucket. And then so far the scoring has been incredible. Something that's just really different from, recent games. It's just the fact that the Trojans have, if I counted up right, about 6 made threes for the entire team. And so just an incredible shooting night from range for the Trojans. And so I think the biggest thing is just making sure that you can, I don't know if you can really keep that up, but continuing to keep the scoring up and possibly just getting inside down low where you can get kind of those easier shots where it's more guaranteed if you're able to make it compared to keep taking kind of more of those outside looks that maybe won't fall as they were falling in that first half.
Yeah, and I think just keeping that scoring at a high for Girard is going to be key. Making sure that you're taking advantage of those turnovers. They seem to be getting a lot of them, just kind of poke outs at the top of the key. A lot of transition looks, just not being able to drop in exactly for the full 2. You got a foul on the other side. You get one of the 2 free throws. Like to see both those free throws fall, and if you get that opportunity at the line, taking advantage of it, as well as if you get the open opportunity on the transition, you want to be able to drop that 2 in, or at least draw a foul to give yourself a chance at the foul stripe. But a lot of transition opportunities, not a lot for the Raiders. Just a lot of messy turnovers for Girard offensively that we've seen, at least they're late in the second. Just kind of giving the ball up, whether that's going out of bounds, kind of some silly jump balls there, here and there as well. Just a couple things that if you cleaned up for Girard, things could be a little bit different. And then for Frontenac, they're looking a little bit sharper than they did in the first quarter. So got to be watching them as they're looking to strike back here. And you do not want to let this game slip. That would be a heartbreaking loss.
And with just such an incredible start, like you're saying, this is one that you want to win if you're the Trojans, with the Raiders beating you at home earlier in the season. And so to kind of get your get back, and if you're able to blow out this team kind of like how it was looking early in that first quarter and into that second quarter, just to get a win against this team is going to be big. Because every time you're playing the Raiders, you want to make sure that you come out with that win no matter what.
Yeah, and we saw last time these two met, the third quarter was kind of the kryptonite for Girard at that time in the season. Since then, the fourth quarter has been a little bit more of the tricky one. But right now, I'd say if they can hang on to a 10-point lead going into either of these quarters, there's no reason that this team should let this one slide. With that, we will go ahead and take another break here on the halftime show. We'll be right back with the second half of action on Girard Sports Live.
Thanks to your support, Kenora Eye Care has expanded. With double the space, they offer more exam rooms, larger optical selection, and extended hours to fit your schedule. And with the latest technology, they can quickly diagnose any eye-related issues. All patients are welcome at Kenora Eye Care, the clear choice for your family's.
A partner in your fields and in your success. That's what you get with Murphy Seed. Channel seedsman Matt Murphy knows your field and can recommend the elite seed products designed to perform in your area, maximizing the profitability of every acre. And now Matt's care for farmers goes beyond seed as an agent for the new 4-state Farm and Ranch. From the best inputs available to the protection you need, call Murphy Seed at 620-249-6419. Your partner at every stage. Matt Murphy at Murphy Seed.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
At
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
Siebert back to pass. Lehman diving for the end zone, and they get the listing. Lehman passes off to Siebert on the far wing. Siebert the lob, and Lehman with the alley-oop dunk to close the deal. Lehman a hard hit ball to left field. Siebert is at the wall, and they close another one. Lehman Realty with another big-time win. Lehman Realty, proud to support the Girard Trojans.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part.
And we're back for the third quarter of action here on Girard Sports Live. And a quick turnover. So that was exactly what we had been talking about during the break here, Caleb. But unable to capitalize on the transition bucket was Briggs Buckingham. Back around to Coombs, who tries to work inside. The kick out. Whoa. Intentional grounding.
Just another pass that was quite a bit off.
Inbound to Cullen. He gets across midcourt, now working it on the perimeter. This Girard team, honestly, I would say works a little bit better with an established offense than they do on the transition.
And I agree with you that if this team can drop a play, that's whenever I really see more scoring than kind of it's almost with the transition ball. It seems 50-50 if they're going to be able to get a clean look and get that score in.
Get it inside to Sneed. Now back around. Wagner to Smith. Wagner trying to work the inside, just short on that look. Now Smith working with Brocobb as Brocobb punches into the paint and gets fouled.
That foul will be on Luke Sneed, and I believe that is his first foul. And so definitely so far in this game, not a lot of fouls called for either team, with I think Ben Colin being the player with the most, and he only has 2. So clean game from both of these teams.
Yeah, Colin's staying clean so far here in the third, but outside of him, no fouls for this Girard team. Out of bounds, and very close there from Ben Cullen, just saving that ball, and just barely out of bounds. Smith pulls up for the triple. He'd been pretty close to lights out there in the second quarter. As now Jackson Smith will get called for a foul, his first. Couple whistles here that we didn't see earlier on in this contest.
And so far this reffing crew has definitely let both, not only the girls, but now the boys play with a little bit of that physicality throughout, every quarter of every game tonight.
Trying to work the inside. Smith can't get it to fall. Wagner gets the putback to go, and now it's into single digits here for this Girard lead. Brocobb does get fouled, once again working the inside. Now some big free throws coming up. We've seen this team kind of hit their strides when it comes to the foul stripe. They've had some pretty cold streaks and then some pretty hot streaks where it just seems like they can't miss at times. Right now, 50-50.
Kind of 50-50, yeah. You can't really tell who's going to be hot with the free throws one night compared to another.
Brocobb goes 1 for 2 again. The kick out popped way up. Brocobb getting vertical to grab that one. And now he's going to pull up from the wing. Just a bit off on that look. Rebounded by Clayton. Now down the floor. As this one will be deflected into the hands of Smith. Over to Stevens, who rises up. Can't get the first look. Brocobb on the second chance. No dice. Still a 10-point game, and this is once again kind of what I was talking about, just letting those points hang out in the air.
I mean, there are opportunities there for the boys to get the scoring going.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities, just not able to get them through the buckets. That has been the killer. I mean, you make half of those, it's another 6 points on the board for Girard. Tough to just kind of let those sit, you know.
With that make, now the Raiders are only down by 7, and so I think the closest they've been in quite a bit on the scoring column.
Since the first quarter, at least. Stevens tries to drive. That's
no way.
Mirando back the other way. I mean, that was just a hockey hip check there.
I just won't say anything about that. That is
Mirando's shot. As honestly, that one probably could have been a foul too. I don't know what's what anymore here, Caleb.
I just gotta play it both ways, I guess.
I suppose. Smith now taking the point. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Mirando takes over. This one tapped out. Smith chucks it up from half court. Now, I didn't see that physicality. Did you see that, Caleb? I did not.
I did.
I was following the ball.
I heard a slap, but I think Blake might have hit him, but I think it was after the ball's already shot, and I mean, a good while after, too.
Brocobb trying to plead his case here with the official. As Smith knocks down his second of 3. Now we'll switch places with Stevens. Smith goes 1 for 3 on that visit, but gets his own rebound. Inside of 5 minutes to play. 6-point lead here for Girard. As Murphy kicks out to Coombs, who drives in, takes a shot from the elbow and gets it to go. 4-point lead, a silent performance here in the third from Girard. And follow that with a Jackson Smith charge. Just some icing on the cake there. Things not going in the Trojans' way about halfway through this third quarter. Timeout called, as we will take a moment to acknowledge our other timeout sponsor, Salon 214. Now open at 107 North Ozark in Girard. Take a timeout to pamper yourself with Vanessa and her team at Salon 214. And take a timeout to check out Salon 214 on Facebook as well. So, trying to get this Trojan crowd ready are the cheerleaders. Doing whatever they can in their power to try and get some morale going.
So far, it's just kind of been a little bit of a frustrating start to the third for the Trojans and Trojan fans with a little bit of carelessness with the ball from the players and a little bit of extra from the refs that are just kind of cutting into it.
You got to say 0 points through 4 minutes for how electric this team has been. This is the longest scoring drought that we've seen out of them. It's got to change.
I mean, this is what we saw whenever this team faced off against these Raiders earlier in the season. Of just that third quarter was kind of the momentum killer, and that's whenever the Trojans really seemed to lose the ball game earlier whenever these teams matched up.
That shot from Murphy won't go. Rebounded by Harina. This one poked out by Stevens. Picked up and transition to Stevens as he will try to take to the glass. It is blocked and out of bounds on Burke. They work it over to Smith. Coombs flips it over to Murphy. Now back around, Coombs to Smith for the three, and he has been on it tonight. 1 point game now here in Frontenac as Schultz will get fouled. Murphy had him blanketed there in the paint. .3:30 to go here in the third. Burke gets it, tries to get it to Stevens. This one's loose as Smith, no travel called on Clayton. And now a three ball from Barcelona to take the lead. 37-35, and a big pass here as a foul called. And Coach Westcott is fired up at this, and rightfully so. I mean, just a 14-0 run from the Raiders. Unanswered points and too many missed opportunities at the bucket to be satisfied with anything. Jake Murphy gets credited with that foul. That was his second. Gotta get something here. I mean, you feel like once they break that scoring drought, things will start falling into place, but they just can't get out of it.
I mean, just nothing has worked so far on the offensive side of things for the Trojans, so you got to try something new. Do anything to get back into the scoring column.
Schultz over to Cohen. Out to Newton for the three. Can't get it to go. And just an unfortunate tip off the board from Schultz. Man, that one would have fallen right into the breadbasket of Harrison Burke. Clayton takes to the paint and cannot get the two to go. This one picked up by Schultz. Burke will take it down the floor. And no way!
Really?
No way! Harrison Burke called for a charge.
Drake, I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what positive thing to say.
Brogan Smith working it around the perimeter here. Works it over. Barcelona to Murphy. Barcelona travels.
Thank you.
Wow. Man. And that is just, it's so brutal. Now, I'm not giving this Girard team much credit here because they have not been able to capitalize scoring-wise, but it is so brutal to the momentum of a game when those calls land like that. I mean, oddly reminiscent of the end of the second half, or the first half, when Burt got ran over and there was not even a whistle blown. Schultz works it around to Buckingham. Buckingham looking to drive off the glass and in. Tie ball game again. 37 apiece. Inside of 2 minutes to go here in the third. Smith out to Clayton. His pass inside and the drop in from Harena. Gets it to go. Buckingham hands it back out to Schultz, who nearly loses his footing. Over to Brokaw. Buckingham at the point. Cullen looking inside. Back out to Schultz. Burke with 7 on the shot clock. Inside pass. Schultz jumps in the 2 and gets it to go. Barcelona down the floor for the Raiders. Murphy out to Smith. Over to Clayton for 3, and he drills it. Pass down the floor, 22 on the clock. Cullen.
Shot clock is turned off.
Buckingham looking to drive. It's poked out. Frontenac takes over. Murphy with 7 on the clock. Gets it over the top of Buckingham to Smith for the 3. Can't go. Barcelona's shot is blocked. Big block by Cullen to try and silence the crowd here at the end of the third. And that will take us into the fourth. 8 minutes to play here in Frontenac. Raiders leading by 3, a 17-point growth from halftime. We will take a break. We'll be right back.
Farmers Bank is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. For generations, Farmers Bank has worked with local leaders, businesses, and residents to help shape the future of Southeast Kansas. Farmers Bank is proud to have helped with the growth and development of the communities we serve. As partners in business and friends in life, Farmers Bank is looking forward to a brighter tomorrow. Farmers Bank, with locations in Hepler, Walnut, St. Paul, and Girard. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic...
And we're back. 8 minutes to play, and Stevens' layup just can't find the bottom of the bucket. And it seems like that side of the floor just real silent offensively. Girard trying to break some tradition here. 4 points there in the third quarter from Girard. Now let's see what they've got in store for the fourth quarter. Pass up top to Coombs. Now around. Sneed. Back to Coombs, who tries to drive and loses the ball.
6 seconds on the shot clock.
Clayton pulls up for the triple, no dice. Cullen with a big rebound. Glad to see Cullen back in this game, as he has just been such a huge asset down low. Some great passes from the exterior as well, not to mention. Work it over to Smith, and now up top to Cullen, who's going to direct some traffic here. This one tipped it into the hands of Coombs. 3-point game, inside of 7 to go. Clayton's going to step out and try and sponge up some of this clock.
For the Trojans, you don't need a 3 to tie it, but you would like some scoring on this next offensive possession just to reel it back in a little bit.
Smith's 3 misses for the first time in a while. He's been a sharpshooter from outside the perimeter, maybe trying to cool him down a bit. As Smith, another close call on the layup, does get the foul drawn from Jake Wegner. Only his second in a very low foul game.
And I mean, just an incredible pass from Briggs to get it into Perrin before the foul.
And Perrin leaves that one short. Smith pretty well needing this next one to try and bring it within a short possession. As Brogan Smith will actually take a seat on the bench. Very surprising there. And 0 for 2.
Just a lid on this basket. The left side of the court.
Clayton drives the paint, puts up a floater, and it's in for 2. Buckingham down the floor. Trying to find a look from the outside. Here's Brocobb. Smith now played closely by Mirando. Frontenac takes over. Clayton gonna drive the paint. Reverse layup in for 2. Buckingham working across midcourt. Now with a 7-point deficit. As we've got a foul called here at the baseline.
Something that I've been noticing in this game is just the leadership from Ben Colin, and we've talked about it before, how Ben is the only returning starter for this Girard team, and so, I mean, he has just the most varsity experience, and so Ben's done a great job of really trying to rally his guys back together and make sure that the right play is drawn up to try to get an opportunity at the rim.
Gotta find something here if you're Girard. Need to break that scoring cap quick. As Cullen gets the call. Working inside, kicks out Buckingham for the triple. Can't go, and it's rebounded by Mirando. A good look there, probably one of the better ones that we've seen from the outside as of this second half. Mirando, they work it around to Clayton, now back up top, out to Sneed. Sneed trying to work it inside. Wegner flicks it back out. And the ball movement here, working quickly. Finally finding an open shot with Coombs, and that won't go. Coombs gets his own rebound and does get the putback. Cullen could not get the block there, 9-point lead. Pass taken away, Wegner with the steal. And with Mirando exiting the floor, there will be an officials timeout here as Brocobb, Newton, and Burke all come on for Buckingham, Stevens, and Cullen. Something's got to change here, Caleb, and something's got to change here quick.
And I mean, this Girard team was so efficient from 3 in that first quarter, and so you'd like to see it come back a little bit, down by 9 with 4 minutes left in this game.
That pass tipped out of bounds by Smith. Good defensive effort. Inbound from Frontenac. Coombs pulls up and gets the 2. Interior pass to Newton, who gets a quick answer. Back down into the single digits. Gonna need some defensive help here. As Wegner will have to exit the floor as I think he was poked in the eye on that transition down the floor. Official gonna have a conversation. I think they're saying it's not an actual timeout. So they were trying to break up the Girard huddle. Since Wegner was injured, that did not charge a timeout to Frontenac. Over to Miranda, looking to drive. The kick out, blocked by Brocob, and over to Burke. Transition down the floor to Newton, who lays in another two. Adrian Newton sparking this offense just a little bit. Clayton trying to drive. His layup does not go. Burke down the floor to Newton. And back inside, Burke off the glass and in for two. 5-point lead.
And these guys coming off the bench have sparked that just offensive spark that are now cut the lead down by 5. The Trojans now have a chance in this game.
Sometimes all it takes is just a little bit of fresh feet.
Come on.
And foul called by Gunnar Herena as he blanketed Burke on that one. I mean, wearing him like another shirt.
I believe that is the third foul on Frontenac. A 0 on the Trojans, but 2 more will send the Trojans to the line, which may come in to be a big part of this down in these last 3 minutes.
100%. Schultz over to Burke. Burke finds Newton at the elbow. Newton back around to Smith. Inside, Brocob pulls up. A mid-range two does not go. Now Smith down the floor, works it to Coombs. Smith pulls up, mid-range two, and he gets it to fall. Brocob back to Burke. As Burke gets it stolen from him, Clayton drops in another two. Killer turnovers here in the fourth. As Brocob pulls up, triple, can't get it. Rebound Coombs. Gonna need a lot here from the Trojans to try and pull this one back together. As Smith hits the deck after the foul from Schultz. We'll force an inbound here with just under 2 to go. Stevens will foul as well. Forcing another inbound here. They work it into Clayton, pass out to Smith for the three. He's been automatic. Logan Smith shooting lights out.
He has half the team points almost with 26, so just big scoring night from Smith.
And Jackson Smith gets it poked out as we fall to 70 seconds here. Working on the perimeter, 13 on the shot clock. That one. Foul called against Smith. Jackson Smith. And kind of a bummer there as they were coming down on the shot clock too, and that just resets it. Now only 19 seconds separating shot and game clock. Stevens does foul. Now only 5 seconds separating shot and game clock, which I gotta say, Caleb, as much as a bummer as it is to say this, I think this one may be out of the Trojans' hands.
Yeah, and I mean, down by 8 with about 30 seconds left. It sucks, but this one's probably over.
Down by 12.
Oh, you're right, gosh. Worse than I thought.
8 points. I think I'd still be kind of, I mean, especially if Brokopp would have drilled that 3, it would have been a bit of a, oh yeah, there's still some life here, but
no.
12 points I think is just a little too much. And what a heartbreaker.
I mean, this one hurts just as bad as that first Frontenac game where you lost by about 1 possession. I mean, you were up by nearly 20 at one point. And I mean, down by 13 now, just tough loss.
Only 10 points here in the second half as Stevens makes it 12. 47-58. Clayton will dribble it across midcourt. And just a brutal defeat here for Girard. One that you weren't expecting and one that you didn't want to see.
Just a completely different outcome than what we thought was going to happen after that first and into the second quarter, but just a tough loss for the Trojans, and I believe with that loss on the season, the Trojans are now split, I believe, if I can find it. Looking now, the boys' record will be 10-9, so not entirely split, but still not looking great going into these last couple of games before Sub-State.
Well, just once again, it's another one of those games that we see this boys team fight so hard to get the win and just come up short in the end. I mean, it's almost similar to the, one possession games that we had talked about, but that one just feels even more defeating, seeing that you could almost see it from the second quarter that things were starting to lean towards the Raiders. And coming out of halftime, you're like, I hope, I just hope that was just the second quarter deal. And then third quarter was just the absolute kryptonite of this team, unable to get anything moving. Only 4 total points. And really not much more there in the fourth quarter, only 8 for them in the fourth as well. So just a tough showing.
Just a tough game for everyone associated with Girard tonight. But
well, with that, let's go ahead and give our shout out to the player of the game, which, Caleb, I don't know if you have a specific player in mind. I don't really have one for myself.
I mean, looking at it just early on, you can kind of split into 2 groups of those early on players with Briggs Buckingham, Briar Schultz that are really able to get the scoring going early and did a great job of picking things up from the start, and then kind of those guys that gave you a little bit of a chance at the end with Adrian Newton and Harrison Burke that had kind of scored a little bit more to boost this team to maybe trying to get a comeback. But I think from looking at it, I just say all those players, I mean, they all had great scoring nights. Briar had 10, Briggs had 11, Adrian was 7, and Harrison had 6. And so just all of these guys, I mean, the leading scorers for this team, and so definitely a great job of just playing ball and trying to get this team to win. I mean, just shout out to any of those guys. I don't know if you have a specific player in mind.
I don't necessarily have a specific player for the player of the game. I think Briar Schultz could certainly be up there, kind of stepping up from that bench position. I think credit goes to all those bench players that you were talking about, being able to step up and kind of take up the scoring role. Harrison Burke really finding his stride once again here tonight in Frontenac, as well as Schultz and Newton, showing off their scoring capabilities from outside the perimeter. And I was going to give the shot of the game, which is brought to you by Bradshaw Collision Repair, to Briar Schultz, and those I'm going to give it to the 2 threes that he nailed there in the first quarter. Some big-time makes that really extended the lead, that really sparked the offense into gear. Just unfortunately not able to get the W tonight.
Yeah, and
real unfortunate.
I mean, looking at my shot of the game, it's another shot from Briar, but it's not necessarily the shot from Briar, but the pass to that shot, and that was the shot that Briar had from that just incredible save from Harrison Burke that just ended up in Briar's hands right next to the basket, and he had that easy layup. And so just a shout out to that play also that really just led this team to that was one of the most turning points early in that first quarter where you thought that this team would come out with the win for the Trojans. But definitely any of Briar Schultz's shots, I would say.
Yeah, and really, I mean, looking down the stretch of that that first quarter, those were the 2 shots that stood out to me the most, other than Newton's 3, and I believe Burke had a couple of good buckets, like you said, and good transitions as well. But those shots of the game, or I guess the shots of the game, were brought to you by Bob Bradshaw Collision Repair. Bob Bradshaw offers refinishing, paintless dent repair, glass replacement, and more. Let Bradshaw Collision Repair get you back in the game. Call 620-724-7300. And forgot to read off the post-game show sponsor, which is Eastside Cafe. Experience the best breakfast in town 6 days a week at 120 South Ozark Street in Girard. Eastside Cafe, a proud supporter of Trojan Athletics. And we are awaiting Coach Westcott's arrival, so we will go ahead and step aside, take a small break here as we have the post-game coaches interview up next on the Eastside Cafe post-game show.
You've enjoyed life. Over the years, your community has become your passion, something you hope future generations get to experience, just as you have. That's why the Girard Area Community Foundation has worked hard to help fulfill charitable goals and inspire generosity, meeting the needs of the communities they serve. Creating a legacy fund with GACF ensures what you leave behind is an effective and lasting improvement in the community you love so dearly. Make plans to visit GirardAreaFoundation.com, preserving traditions for those who follow.
Community National Bank and Trust has been serving the area for more than 30 years with a strong commitment to the highest quality leadership and banking services. Missing that human touch with your bank? Come talk to a real person at Community National Bank and Trust. We're your local bank that's small enough to know you, yet big enough to offer the best products. Community National Bank and Trust, federally insured, locally awesome. Member FDIC.
Call's service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, outstanding in their field. Call's carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Call's continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call's Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com. From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
How is it so fast?
With Crochan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Girard Medical Center, we're more than a hospital. We're your hometown healthcare team. From family medicine and emergency care to lab services, surgery, imaging, and beyond, we're here when you need us. Compassionate care close to home. To learn more about our high-quality care and everything that we have to offer, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com. A proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
Tries to make something out of nothing. The Trojans all over him. It's going to be a big loss.
The Trojan sack means $2 short stacks at Eastside Cafe. Kick off your day with a hearty breakfast or take that midday break at Eastside Cafe. And this fall, when the Trojans get a sack, you get $2 short stacks the following day. Dine in only. Restrictions apply. Eastside Cafe, a favorite of the 4 states winner. Go Trojans from Eastside Cafe.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Hounds Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Back on the post-game show for the post-game coaches interview with Coach Westcott. Coach, I want to thank you for taking your time to come up here and talk to us. Heartbreaking loss here in Frontenac. Want to start off first with what your thoughts on the game were.
Give them some credit. They played harder than we did, a lot tougher than we were. We weren't strong with the ball really the last 3 quarters, and they just outplayed us. So I'm going to give them some credit. We got to get tougher. We're not strong with the ball right now. We let guys slap it out of our hands, and I better not get started on the ran here. I just went off on the guys a little bit from not finishing at the rim. Get the looks you want and then don't finish. Not strong with the ball. Just not a good outing for us. We shot the ball extremely well the first quarter, and they missed a lot of shots in the first quarter, and it was a shooting game that first quarter, and we outshot them. They outplayed us for 3 quarters, though, and that was evident in the final. We're going to figure it out or we're not. I told the guys in the locker room, hey, we either got to come together and get tougher and stronger and start doing things right, or season's going to be over here in about a week. So we got another day of practice, and then we got 2 games in a row, and, man, it's winding down. This is not how you want to be playing right now at this time of year. So we got some things to get figured out and worked on, but we'll come back tomorrow and get after it and see what happens.
Yeah, coming down this regular season home stretch, or final stretch, you've got a couple of away games and then a home game to finish it off. Going up against Fort Scott on Thursday, have you broken down anything on that team? I know you guys have a little bit of experience with them and what their play style is.
Yeah, I mean, they got a good team. They're going to be physical and get after us, and be another hard-fought match. And coming in here to the sub-state, we're definitely going to be tested here the next we got 3 games left, I guess, before sub-state starts. So no easy ones here down the stretch, but we'll have to get out and get after it, and we'll see what happens.
And then final question here, Coach, just looking at that first quarter and the performance that your guys put up, is that something obviously that you're wanting to really replicate through the entire game and just kind of hammer down on these guys that they're really capable of doing?
We know we're capable. We shot it well, but they didn't defend us real hard that first quarter. They got out and started defending, and we didn't shoot well. Man, I think they beat us the last 3 quarters. If you break it down by quarter, they beat us every quarter in the last 3. When teams come out and defend hard, you got to be strong, finish, and it's something that we've got to get better at.
Well, Coach, once again, we wish you luck going forward on these final 3 games in the regular season, and thank you again for taking your time to come talk to us here on Girard Sports Live.
Thanks, guys.
That was Coach Wes Scott for the post-game coaches interview, brought to you by Community National Bank and Trust, serving the area for 30 years. Stop in soon to pick up your very own Girard Trojan Instant Issue Mascot Debit Card. Community National Bank and Trust is a proud supporter of Girard Schools. Learn more online at mybankcnb.com. Caleb, any final comments as we wrap up here on Girard Sports Live?
I don't have much of anything. I think the biggest thing is just making sure that these teams can get some good wins, especially against one of those more competitive teams in Fort Scott later on this week on Thursday. And so make sure to tune in for that. Just big games coming up, and so let's see if these teams are going to be able to respond and fight off some of these bigger opponents.
Well, we look to Fort Scott here on Girard Sports Live, as we will see you all next time. Thanks for watching, and we hope you all have a great night.
Thanks for watching. From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at varsitysportslive.com.